If you have been diagnosed with Alzheimer recently, you should look at your Spanish will. You should get your spouse to look at his Spanish will if you are the beneficiary, and you should look into power of attorney in favor of your loved ones. My name is Michael Davis. I'm a Spanish lawyer. I'm specialized in wills, estate planning, probate, inheritance tax, and inheritance-related litigation. I've been handling these cases all over Spain, and many times for expats since 1996. Okay, so what do I mean by all this? Well, if one has been diagnosed with Alzheimer or any other kind of dementia, but you're still okay, you still know what you're doing, you want to make sure that you're as in control as possible of what happens in the future with your assets, and you can make sure that that your loved ones, the ones that you choose, that end up making decisions for you. So why do I say look at your wills? Well, if you've just been diagnosed but you're still okay, then you can still sign a new will. So take a look at your will. You may not have a will, or it may be many years since you've updated it. Have a look at it, make sure it's okay. Likewise, if your spouse has made a will and you are the sole beneficiary of his estate, you may want to look at that as well, because if years go by and when your husband, for example, passes before you do, and you've got very serious Alzheimer, you don't really want the asset going into your name, and maybe you want it to your children to have control over the assets and things, so they can maybe sell them and use the money to look after you and things like that. So have a conversation about your Spanish wills, both your will, the person that's just been diagnosed, but also of the will of your spouse if you are the only beneficiary. At least look into it. You may, after making all the considerations, decide not to change them, but just take a look at it. The other thing that I always say is think about making a power of attorney. Power of attorney in favor of your loved ones. And then there are different variations of how you can do this. Because if at the moment you're still okay, you've still got consent, you still know what you're doing, you can still issue a power of attorney in favor of your spouse or your spouse and children. There are different variations. Because if it comes to the point where you've not got consent, the only way that somebody, for example, could help you sell your property if you can't sign for yourself would be an incapacitation procedure through the Spanish courts. It's a very long process. So to avoid it, if you can leave it all organized, all the better. So with this power of attorney, how can you do it? Well, for example, if you can leave everything full capacity to your spouse, or you can leave it maybe to your spouse jointly with one of your children. And again, there's a variation there. You can either do it jointly, so that either one or the other could sign anything, or jointly and severally. And there are different trade-offs between, risk reward and, easiness of use of these documents that, you need to discuss with your lawyer. So, so the long and the short is, my recommendation is, if you've been diagnosed or one of your loved ones have been diagnosed, go and see your lawyer, check out your wills, both yours and your spouse's, and talk to him or her about powers of attorney. Once you've got everything, you made all the decisions, then hopefully you forget about it for many, many years. And, but with the documents, knowing that the documents are all in place. I hope you found the video useful. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe channel. It will help other clients find our videos. Thank you for watching.